Hello and welcome to the Time for Marketing, the podcast that brings you the best marketing conference speakers and allows them to sum up their presentation in 5 minutes. My name is Peter and I'll be your host today. This is episode number 50, so the big 50. We're finally here and I'm very glad that we have an excellent guest joining us from the island that moved away from the EU, the whole thingy. Elaine Walsh McGrath, hello and welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. But don't worry, I'm still in the EU as I'm in Ireland.
You're still there. You're right.
And
You're
oh my
right.
goodness, 50. I'm so excited because it was meant to be, because it's my 50th year in June. So
Oh,
how
really?
cool is that?
See, that was really something that made this podcast happen. Thank you for being here. How are you doing? How is Ireland?
All good, a bit rainy, but sure, when isn't it? That's why we have so much greenery around us.
Yeah, you need that to, do all of the agriculture that you do up there, right?
Yeah, for sure, Peter. That is so true.
Elaine, you are helping people to get more leads on LinkedIn and other places. Tell me, what do you do and what is your favorite part about that?
Well, I help my clients to land more clients. That's what I say to them. It keeps it simple, doesn't it? I work with service-based businesses and businesses who really do work with clients and need to understand what their needs are. So generally speaking, they might have a muddy message before they meet me, and they need more. They need more clients, or they need to adjust maybe the pricing and the quality communication of their offer, because I work with really, really talented people and organizations to just make sure that their marketing reflects how amazing they are.
Okay. You have a big history in working. Big history. You worked a lot of in agencies and with big clients. How is the LinkedIn communication or the communication between people that would like to, start working together? How has that changed in the last 10, 15 years?
Well, LinkedIn has had massive growth, and there's more humanity there than there was before, in my opinion. It's important to show up in a more, let's use some marketing speak, 360 way these days. Personal branding has really grown, and it's so important whether you're there for professional reasons, representing your company, or looking for clients in terms of you're a coach or a service-based business. It's so important to stand out, because guess what? There are 1 billion users on LinkedIn now, which is flippin' floppin' mad. That's where it's seen massive growth. But it's still important to have that human side to you. And I think that is the main difference, because quite often, like, you still do get some of that nonsense about, like, why is this on LinkedIn? But increasingly, there are more people who wouldn't have, seemed LinkedIn appropriate 10 years ago. And thankfully, we have a more diversified and inclusive view of humanity and professionalism these days, which is great.
And that allows us to really communicate with people, even on LinkedIn, as people to people. I invited you to the podcast because you were a speaker at the DigiMarCon 2023 in Ireland. This is a conference that tells everything in its name, right? Digital Marketing Conference 2023. How was the conference? How did you enjoy your time there?
It was a great conference, lovely people, great speakers. Well, I would say that. That was amazing. No, I'm kidding. But there were really inspiring companies other than my lovely self there. And, there was a great networking opportunity, and it was in a lovely location in the center of Dublin. So it was great. And I certainly would check it out if they're back visiting next year.
All right. Excellent. Well, We talked about you, about the conference. Now there's nothing else to let you take your 5 minutes to sum up your presentations. Here you go, Elaine.
Well, it had an interesting title, which is that it was called "I'm Not Sarah Connors." If you remember, she was the lead strong female in the Terminator, and she really had an issue with AI. Okay, so the title was "I'm Not Sarah Connors," but like human nature, not bots, will really make your content convert. So my whole thing, no matter how big your business is that you need to lean into feelings and emotional cues in your content if you want it to convert. So in actual fact, what I spoke to everybody about was that, if you want your organic content to build your visibility of your business with ease, then in actual fact, you have to act like a human in social media, and not just any old human. You've got to act like a kind human. So throw any element of narcissism away and really work on that human part of your content. In actual fact, if you really want to be successful, you need to make sure that's about 60% of your content. And the 20% of your content should just be the transactional aspect, okay? So, and then 20% should be the value, and I'm not talking about like transactional value. I'm talking about your organization or your personal brand's values, okay? Your value sets, So for example, in my business, I have I am a carer. My daughter has additional needs, and that does come across in my content. Okay. So what about your business's value? So just think about it. Think about your people and how you want for others who want to work with you perceive you. Then the second part was how to sell on social, right? Because quite often we get to LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is so, connection friendly, but never mind LinkedIn, any social media, there's potential to sell on. There's pretty much DMs on all social media, and there is a potential to have that strategy in place. And I don't mind if you use bots. I don't mind, because like I say, I'm not Sarah Connors. But what I do want you to do is in your content or your ads to make sure that you're symptom focused and not solution focused when you're talking to cold traffic, okay? So make sure that you're talking to the symptoms, that you're talking to the desires, the dreams of your clients, and not like the solution, because otherwise they may say no, because sure, they don't know necessarily that they need you, okay? And then the third thing was, if you want to be successful in social media, if you want your content to convert, then please just, you don't have to drain your resource to do it, okay? But you need to just make sure your messaging is clear, that you've got lots of personality in your content so that, you stand out and that it is aligned with you and your business, no matter what size your business. And then systemize it. Like, I'm all about using tech. But just make sure that there's heart and soul in your messaging, that there is enough personality, and that you're using enough of the right language that your ideal client will hear. And then, yeah, absolutely. After that, systemize everything. And that was basically the crux of my 45-minute presentation in 5, right? So my big message is forget B2B. It's human to human. And it doesn't matter what size your business is. It's still got to be human to human, particularly now with the growth of AI. You've got to make sure that you come back to basics.
Yeah, it's probably, in the last year, the messaging on LinkedIn has probably changed a lot. But I like how you speak about we should be symptom focused and not solutions focused. Can we give an example of how that would be done right and how that would be done wrong?
Sure, of course. Now, listen, I'm going to take it from like a smaller business perspective, because that's, I work predominantly these days, even though I used to work with like big, $1 million clients when I was working in media. These days, I work with smaller businesses, coaches, consultants, And yeah, find small organizations in mainly the social entrepreneur space. So I will absolutely give you an idea. So let's say someone has a program, okay, an offer, a framework, and they know that this is really going to help their clients. Here's the thing. Quite often, your ideal client doesn't identify what the actual crux of their problem is, but they have symptoms. So they might say, let's just take social media as an example. They might think they need more followers to make more sales.
Right.
But like we all know that you can sell high ticket, like you can sell like big solutions, costly solutions with a small amount of followers if they're the right followers, okay? So the key is to make sure that your content delivers to the symptoms. So, because they may not know that, they may think, oh, I need loads of followers. But actually, what's the issue? They don't have sales. So you need to talk to the symptoms. Like, do you need to sell more? Are you overwhelmed? Is your sales department under pressure? To figure out like where the actual pain point is, and just tease the symptoms for them, so that they put their hand up. And when they put their hand up and they're on a call with you, or they get to know you better, they're in your list, then you can ask them more questions and get to the issue. And that's then where the solution comes in, not out at the cold traffic side of the equation,
All right, excellent. That was a nice example that shows how we should change our thinking and our messaging. There are new social medias popping up all the time around. I see a lot of B2B sales starting to happen on TikTok. When should we start thinking about TikTok and moving away from LinkedIn, or when should we start adding TikTok to LinkedIn as a channel for our communication?
Listen, here's the thing. It actually doesn't matter what channel you're on. That is the truth of the matter. There is enough traffic, there are enough eyeballs, there is enough demographics on every single solitary platform. So what I say to my clients is, there's no silver bullet. Sometimes my clients arrive and go, oh, what do you mean there's no silver bullet? But honestly, you need an algorithmic platform, and you need an evergreen platform. And that's what I recommend. So make sure you've got an algorithmic platform. So Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, in your and to an extent TikTok, but TikTok also kind of comes across into evergreen because it is increasingly searchable. And we're seeing with the evolution of TikTok in terms of they've changed the landscape, that they're putting it up to YouTube. They're moving to a slightly longer format. And
they're
putting it up to Amazon.
Format.
Will they be successful in that? I don't know. They're trying to do a lot at the same time at the moment. But basically, my big message, Peter, is you've got to do what's right for you. So if it's a podcast and something that's on the algorithm, do that. If it's a blog and something that's on the algorithm, do that. But just be strategic. Come back to why are you doing it? That's what I always advise my clients.
All right. Excellent. I think that's it. Elaine, where can people find you if they want to talk to you more? And do you have other conferences set up where people can listen to you?
So come on over to my website, which is ElaineWalshMcGrath.com. Drop me a line to hello@ElaineWalshMcGrath.com. I am pretty much everywhere at Elaine Walsh McGrath. So Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I even think I'm on YouTube, but mainly I hang out on LinkedIn. So come and connect with me. I'd love to meet you.
All right, I'll add all these links into the description so that people can find you easily. And there's some great resources on your website. I've seen that stuff that you can download that people can start using. So I would really encourage people to go and check that out. Elaine, thank you very much for being on the podcast and bringing us the idea that bots are great, but of course we should be human while using them. Thank you for being here and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Peter. My pleasure.